With the clan invasion imminent, on its way, I feel like we need to start exploring the fundamental differences in the feeling of play, because the rules are similar. It is Battletech, but the dynamics of the clan mechs, their weapons, some of the experimental lost tech, recovered tech, combined with the playstyle of the clans, produces a very, very different feel in Battletech. And this is a good thing. Pretty soon we're going to be awash in miniatures, whether the Kickstarter delivery or certainly over the next couple of months to half a year to a year, rolling out retail. We're going to see more Battletech players. We're going to see lots of Battletech players. Maybe you just started playing Battletech with Game of Armored Combat. Miniature Fever has gripped you. The only thing worse than Miniature Fever is Aperture Fever. It's gripped you, and now I've had both. I have had both. Fortunately, I've cured at least one of them, but I still have problems buying lots of miniatures. In exploring that, if you just started playing Battletech and you're looking to jump into the clans, positioning ourselves, understanding ourselves, that's what we're going to look at today. And then we're going to start exploring some of my favorite clan mechs, the mechs that have given the choice and the battle value that I like to play, but at the same time after that exploring out some of the more obscure clan mechs so they can start to hit the table. Battletech itself, the narrative, this game of armored combat, these fantastically powerful war machines, and for now we're just kind of limiting it mech versus mech, but certainly vehicles and infantry play out. Mechs can take tremendous amounts of damage. And this is part of the allure, the narrative, in that you get your arm blown off, your leg is damaged, internals, engine hit, sensor hit, and you're still fighting on and on and on till finally your mech is just scrapped and destroyed. Now, you could retreat off the table if you're utilizing the force withdrawal. You could get hit with a lucky shot, although it's not a lucky shot for you. Your head could get shot, or you could take a critical somewhere and your engine blows out or ammo blows out. But for the most part, mechs are very, very resilient and will fight to the end. I mean, I've been having a lot of success with the Wolverine as of late. And in a game not too long ago, my Wolverine was taking a lot of damage, and I just was like, you know what? I'm not going anywhere. I'm going to stand my ground. I didn't have the high ground, but I had cover, and I'm like, I'm just going to stand here and just blast away, make that last stand. And the punishment, I mean, my arms got blown off. My torso was just really chewed up. There was a light mech from behind smashing me. My leg gets blown off. I land, and now I'm still fighting. And mechs are blasting me, and it's like, really? This mech is not dead yet? And it was a success from that perspective, because it's like, look, bro, the battle value of this Wolverine tied up 2 heavies, a light, a medium directly close, and just out of desperation, a long-range missile carrier firing and shooting from the distance with indirect fire. It was interesting. So they can take lots and lots of punishment. And that's kind of the narrative. Inner Sphere. Succession era. Then we jump to the clans. And what's interesting is when I think back, 80% of the time I play Inner Sphere, Succession era. Or if I do play clans, it's not so much clan versus clan. It's early invasion, right? Jade Falcon pushing that forward. Think of the narrative, how the great houses, how literally they were taken by surprise, and the sheer fury and how fast the clans were able to make inroads, on their way to Terra to restore this true Star League. That's very much the narrative. The first time you face the clans, even though you will have the superior numbers in terms of battle value and equipment, right? If we look at roughly a medium mech is around 1,000, 1,200 battle value, Inner Sphere, a Wolverine or a Griffin. A medium clan mech is like, 2,000 pushing in. Clans cost more because the balance is in the tech and the fact that their capabilities are so much more. Now, in a system that utilizes battle value, The idea is if we're playing 12,000 battle value, even though inherently your machines, if you're playing clans, are better than mine, it balances out. That's not really true. Battle value falls apart with the clans because, generally speaking, bringing a clan mech to the table, and I have to say the tech manuals and the rules did do a good job of capturing these superior machines. This idea that, on average, you're going to be faster, you're going to have more armor, you're going to be able to dissipate heat better, and your weapons not only do more damage, but the big factor, this is the big factor, it's not even a trifecta, the big factor of the duality is that you have longer range. So just on the range compared to the speed means the clans are going to be able to engage your inner sphere mechs, push out reliably more damage, hit you faster, and fire the full complement of their weapons without really having to worry about heat. Now, there are some mechs that push heat, and you have to keep those in mind, but heat management is a lot easier playing the clan mechs, especially some of the very, very well-designed clan mechs. So what you find out right away is you go into battle and you outnumber the clans, but you're potentially losing a mech every other turn. If they're focusing fire, if they're engaging at the optimal range for them, which means medium range for the clans, long range for inner sphere, they're targeting the weaker mechs, they're doing everything right, you're dropping mechs like crazy. You're getting hit, boom, 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 hit and dead, exploded, gone, mech out. You're like, what? It's only like the second round of the game. So the pace of the game is much more aggressive, a lot more aggressive. Now, where this balances out is playing with clan honor, issuing challenges, allowing mechs to force withdraw. Those different aspects balance it a little bit, but you have to be willing to explore it from that role-playing system. Players that want to play raw, rules as written, the clans are just going to trounce everything. It's only when you go clan versus clan, a trial of possession or some sort of battle from that perspective, that it becomes a similarly fair fight compared to inner sphere versus inner sphere. But even clan versus clan, with the increase in armor, generally speaking, and of course within the clan mechs, there's some that are very, very like armor. What's that? Like the fire moth, and then there's some that are so massively armored, it's just insane, like the Bruin. You're never going to be able to chew through it. But even clan versus clan, the armor bubbles on your mech sheet come off much, much, much quicker. So the games go much, much faster. And then for battle value, you do tend to have less on the table because the clan mechs cost more. So the biggest takeaway to prepare yourself is to understand playing the clans, you have the advantage of every single random medium clan mech or heavy mech compared to random inner sphere, medium or heavy. You have the advantage of speed, you have the advantage of armor, you have the advantage of firepower, range, and damage. And then you've got, a couple of extra toys on some mechs, like targeting computers and other sensor arrays. A lot of stuff. So you need to leverage that. And likewise, the inner sphere mechs, you're at a tremendous disadvantage, except at the beginning of the game when you outnumber the clans. So you have to press that advantage. You have to get aggressive in focusing fire, engaging single targets, putting down, be like, that clan mech, put it down. Next one, put it down. Next one, put it down. You almost can't be defensive. You almost can't be defensive as inner sphere because you're just going to get outranged, outmoved, chewed up, and everything. So a big change in the pace of the game, but an exciting change. And ultimately, I would say, I'm not giving you permission to go out and buy tons of miniatures. You don't need my permission for that. It's already happening, right? But what's interesting is in playing the clans and jumping into the clans. So maybe some of you out there are like, I'm jumping right into clans. I don't want to do inner sphere. Or you're thinking, I'm doing both, right? Or I'm doing inner sphere, maybe I'll get into the clans. It is worth it to get into the clans because as the Battletech time frame advances, it opens up more battle options, more miniature options. So inner sphere, you could do inner sphere versus inner sphere. You could do inner sphere versus clans. You could do clans versus clans. You can do, as technology is recovered and the invasion goes on, post-invasion, what you see is a lot of the older battle mechs that the Inner Sphere had now being restored to clan glory. An example would be the Stalker, right? Stalker's a pretty fearsome mech. If you have a Stalker model, now you're getting the double play out of that model. You can play it Inner Sphere, Succession era. You can play it Inner Sphere versus clans, or you can play the variant of it where it's been restored with upgraded weaponry and increased functionality, an entirely different machine. So you get to explore all your old toys, all your current models from a completely different perspective. It's essentially like four war games in one. And then on top of that, we layer over Alpha Strike.